So I'd like to call the organizational meeting to order at 7 o'clock.
Are there any agendas
Right here.
for the rest of us?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to say pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any agendas for town board in this? I don't have them, just correct that.
So I'd like to, is there a motion to go into executive session? I make the motion to go into executive session to discuss chair and board appointments and to discuss the employment status of particular persons.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second?
Second.
All right, so the board will,
Vote to go in.
okay.
Todd?
Yes.
Clerk, clerk, call the roll. You want to do it that way?
Councilman Myers, I'm going to right after this. Councilman Myers?
Present.
Voting to go into executive session.
Councilman Drzezinski?
Say aye.
Councilman Drzezinski?
Aye.
Councilman Esposito?
Yes.
Councilman Edwards?
I abstain.
Okay. Supervisor?
Joyce? Yes.
So what's going on?
Kick everybody out.
What's going on?
Go to the ledge.
Right now? Huh. So much for an open government.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
It was actually said you either use and no,
I love these things. So much. Hang on here.
We've exited the executive session. Do I have a motion to exit?
So now your resolutions are gonna change, because your resolution numbers are gonna be 01 for the first vote and 02 for the second.
Isn't that what's on the agenda?
That is what's on. Okay, you got it. Who made the motion to enter into executive? Do you remember that? And who seconded?
Everybody said aye, except for me, I abstained.
Councilman Myers, vote to exit executive session?
Yes.
Yes. Councilman Jasinski, exit executive session? It's a vote to exit executive session?
Yes.
Councilman Esposito,
Yes.
Councilman Edwards.
Yeah.
And that's Supervisor Joyce.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So a lot of these, again, open to the board, they're pretty generic. They're open for discussion. Typically, the Gazette has been the town newspaper. I propose we keep it the same. Do I have a motion to designate the Gazette as the official town newspaper?
I'll make the motion. Second.
And you're including the town board meetings in that
So town board meetings, so typically the, so typically it was the second Tuesday of each month, but I'm proposing that we use the second Tuesday as normal, and then the fourth Tuesday of each month, with the exception of the months of June, July, and August. The second meeting of the month, the fourth Tuesday, I was hoping to use it as a town board meeting, an agenda meeting, and or an informational workshop as required. My thought is, we can use it as a training session. You know, certain boards need training. We can train the board to bring them in as a workshop. We can do informational sessions because our video guys are putting on cable TV, so we can inform the public via the workshops. So that's what I'm proposing, again, for all the months except for June, July, and August because of the holiday or because of the summertime, but that's my thought on the town board meetings.
So you're having a second town board meeting every month for the town board?
Correct.
And we're gonna train the other boards?
No. We're gonna use those sessions, if the town board meeting stops early, it's real quick, half hour, maybe 1 or 2 motions. We can use it for information, we can have guest speakers come in, first aid, there's a lot of things we can use, especially now we can use the TV for people who don't come to the meetings. We can do PAC reviews, we can do, again, first aid training, we can do training for all the boards. I'm gonna ask the board chairs to provide their training requirements for the year, so maybe we can suitcase training into, bring here, let all the boards and all the residents take the training. And so I think there's a lot of uses we can use, again, especially since we're taking it and going to Princetown Cable.
So the other boards are gonna have to show up on that?
No, just as we put it on the agenda, if the, you know, we can get a guest speaker to come in, again, maybe it's like Melanie used, I'll use Melanie for an example, so
Please don't.
apologies.
Please don't.
As like Mohawk, when Mohawk came up to talk, or REMS. Again, I'm hoping maybe Princetown Cable come out and explain to us what's going on with their network. You know, that's one example. Maybe Schenectady Environmental Committee can come up and talk to us. I talked to Gino once, he can maybe do some training on subdivisions or something. I think there's just a lot of things we can use for that meeting.
And two, it gives the town board an opportunity to get together so that we're not in violation of the open meetings law. And I think that this is a very healthy thing. It just takes the pressure off so we can all get together and get on the same page on certain things.
So that's my thought on that. Again, we can, there's some resolutions that are still outstanding, the water purveyor law, there's a lot of open items we can continue to work on the second meeting. And then the organizational meetings. So this is gonna come up, so I'm gonna talk about it now, or I'm gonna propose we discuss it now. Let me rephrase my thought here. So obviously we're having an organizational meeting today. As we know that I'm proposing we look at ways to save the town money through efficiencies, combining jobs, looking at ways to save money. So I know today's obviously the first organizational meeting, but I'd like to set the schedule for a second organizational meeting on the second Tuesday of February, followed by a third organizational meeting on June 12th, which would be the first Tuesday of June. Thursday. Could be a Thursday. Are you sure it's a Thursday?
Thursday, you were saying Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I think we're gonna be, the 12th is a Tuesday.
You've got Thursday here.
Oh, sorry. All right. So, I'll make a
So
change.
that should be Tuesday?
Yeah. was Thursday, then I thought it'd be easier just to combine it with the town hall meeting, or town board meeting. So that's the 3 items I'd like to propose we vote on for resolution 12-03, the town newspaper, town board meeting schedule, and organizational meetings.
I mean, if I can just clarify, so what you're looking for is a motion that the Gazette be designated the official town newspaper, that the town board meetings be the, what is it, the second Tuesday of each month and the fourth Tuesday of each month, except for June, July, and August, and that the meetings will begin at 7 p.m. And that there be organizational meetings on February 14th and June 12th.
Correct.
Have we checked the legality of having multiple organizational meetings in the year?
I've looked into that, and it's no problem even having an organizational meeting anytime.
We've gotten written advice previously on that topic from your firm.
But I looked into it, and I had a conversation with the Association of Towns to make sure it was correct.
Okay.
Joe?
There was already a motion in a second,
I
wasn't there?
know.
I'll second.
Lou made the motion, Bob seconded it.
This one?
Did you second it?
Yeah, after you read the newspaper and hadn't read the other 2 pieces of, there was a motion by Lou and a second by Bob.
Okay. Councilman Myers?
Yeah.
Councilman Krasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Esposito?
Yes.
Councilman Edwards?
No.
Supervisor Jones?
Yes.
Yep.
Resolution 1204, so there's a few items in here I'd like to discuss. The assessor's assistant, the bookkeeper to the supervisor, legal counsel, second legal counsel, appointment to the fire warden and our historian. So, it's probably a good spot to introduce what my thoughts are. As you guys will see as you go through pretty much all the appointments, you're gonna see that I am proposing that we set terms and salaries for half a year. What I'm proposing is we use this time to go through and look at efficiencies in the jobs, look at the job tasks, laying out the tasks, define them, analyze them, put some metrics together. So at the end of 4 or 5 months, we can look and see how many people are executing what tasks. Is there a possibility to combine jobs? Is there a possibility of maybe creating a new position? Again, looking to drive some efficiencies into the workforce. What I'm proposing is there's going to be no change in monetary status for anybody. Nobody's losing a dime, not a penny. There's no change. I just want to use this time to ask the board, and I'll hopefully at some point we'll ask to put together a committee to look into all the jobs, what they do. Again, how can we maybe combine jobs or rearrange jobs or redefine tasks. I know the governor's put out a possible grant of looking to combine services, looking for ways to streamline government. And that's what I'm proposing here. If at the end of the 5 or 6 months, when we get to the June organizational meeting, and we've found that we can find some efficiencies, either combining a job, creating a new position, combining jobs, then we'll redefine it then. And if everything still stays the same, then we'll just reappoint every salary right to the end of the year, and there'll be no change. From what limited time I've been able to spend in town hall, I see some spots where we can, I think, gain some efficiencies. I can talk about them. I'm certainly not qualified at this point. I mean, I was only in here, I could only get in for a couple of days. So I was very limited on what I could see. I didn't have access to a lot of things, so. But there were a couple of things that popped out to me saying, look, you know, there's an easier way to do this, you know. I liken the example to chopping wood, right? And if you start from when you chop a tree down, how many times you touch that piece of wood? That's why before you have it split and stacked a lot. There's actually some processes or tasks in town, I feel, that you don't have to touch that log that many times, which is gonna drive some efficiencies in the process. So that's why you're gonna see all these jobs funded through just the first half of the year. Now, again, one of the reasons I propose we have the second organizational meeting is if there is a lot of heartache on this, then we can use the February 14th, St. Valentine's Day, to, you know, go back and reassign every salary. Again, if everybody looks, and I encourage the town staff, or everybody, if you have a heartache with this, please approach the board, please call me, and again, we can change it pretty quickly. Again, we can set up an emergency meeting, but otherwise we can do the second organizational meeting of February 14th. The way I look at this, and if all the staff, employees, boards, everybody, if you all look at this, nobody is losing a dime, not a penny. There's no change here. It's just we're looking at it a little bit different. I just want to be able to ask the board to step back and say, hey, look, can we look for some efficiencies here? So at that point, I'd like to just kind of review the 5 or 6 items under this resolution. I'm asking for the assessor's assistant. I propose that Isla Mead be appointed the assessor's assistant at a salary not to exceed $8,440, which is exactly half of what her yearly salary is, for a term to end on 6/30. Same with the bookkeeper to the supervisor. I'm proposing that Isla Mead be appointed supervisor's bookkeeper at a salary not to exceed $4,142 for a term to end on 6/30. Legal counsel, I propose that we continue to use Whiteman, Osterman, and Hanna to be appointed as legal counsel at hourly rate ranging from $115 to $250 per hour through 12/31/12. The scope of work as follows: attendance at one regular scheduled meeting of the town board, planning board, and zoning board of appeals as requested. The scope of work does not include any matters outside of preparation for and attendance at the meetings described above, such as but not limited to litigation, preparation for and attendance at special meetings, council and zoning issues requiring more than nominal effort and or commitment of resources on their part. The next one is legal counsel. Resolve that Supervisor Joyce review and sign the Whiteman, Osterman, and Hanna contract for 2012. I have a copy of it. I got a copy for you, Todd, to review, if you're so inclined. I think I've handed it, everybody, no? I gave one to you. Yeah. Sir?
Because I don't trust you.
You better look it over very carefully, use your magnifying glass.
And then the last 2 proposals I have is the fire warden. Resolve that West Blessing be appointed fire warden at the annual salary of $849 for a term ending 12/31. And then historian that Irma and
Astrea.
thanks, be appointed historian for the annual salary of $849 for a term ending 12/31/12. That is what I propose for resolution 12-04. Any thoughts, questions, comments? Bob, I'm gonna start with you.
I like the 6-month period, because that gives you a chance to establish a baseline for each position. And when June comes along, you have a much better frame of reference with which to move forward. So, I like it.
If I could expand on that thought, so I mean, what I'm hoping to do is, again, build the metrics. You know, everybody does metrics, I mean, you have to have something to measure against the benchmark. So we'll look at the tasks, how many times the tasks are executed a week, per month, per day, whatever the example would be, and then from there, you can kind of figure out how many hours it takes to do that, and the better ways to do it.